Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Coffee and Commerce with Cascone. This program is designed to bring you retail-specific trends on a bi-weekly basis to guide your digital marketing efforts during a time when every day is different, and the phrase, "the only constant is change," has never been more true. So at Bluecore, we have access to shopper data across more than 400 brands that represent over 15% of the non-Amazon gross merchandising value in the United States. What I'm going to refer to in these episodes is a representative sampling from that data across 5 subverticals: luxury, apparel, beauty, pharmacy, sports and outdoors, and 3 business models: digital natives, department stores, and chain stores. We will be looking at the changes in online purchases, including total purchases, first-time buyers and second-time buyers, as well as online activity like email signups, product views, and add to carts. So let's start from what's happening on a macro level and then dig a little deeper into our data. According to a recent article by eMarketer, total retail sales in the US will drop by 10.5% this year. And even with e-commerce jumping 18%, it's not enough to make up the difference. In fact, they are predicting that it will take until about 2022 for retail sales to rebound to normal levels. But with e-commerce sales up 9% month over month and up 30% year over year, and the industry ripe for innovation, we at Bluecore believe the brands have the ability to accelerate that timeline through digital. Even as stores begin to reopen, brands are preparing for a permanent shift to a 50-50 split between store and e-commerce. We have data pointing to opportunities that focus on driving repeat purchases and retention through digital, which will have an outsized impact on recovery. So let's dig into the data. Not only are subverticals seeing an increase in overall purchases online, which validate the jump in overall e-commerce sales I spoke about earlier, we are also seeing an increase in first-time buyers, with the exception of beauty, which I'll get back to. What does this mean? The increase in first-time buyers shows a level of experimentation amongst consumers, even outside of an essential category such as pharmacy. With the click of a button, consumers can discover a whole new brand with a whole new set of products that they may not have otherwise considered. This is an indication of the acceleration of that 50-50 split. There's also a chance these first-time buyers represent the act of revenge spending, as dubbed by a recent CNBC article, where consumers who would normally be spending on travel and dining are now shifting to spending on luxury brands, for example. Now, it's important to understand that across reported benchmarks for a typical brand, customers only buy one time. With acquisition costs on the rise, this makes it harder and harder to get payback on a first-time purchaser. So what's the big takeaway from this? You need to re-engage these first-time buyers and get them to their second purchase. A second-time buyer is 130% more valuable than a first-time buyer. And if brands improve their second purchase rate by just 1%, they could improve top-line revenue by 7%. How, you ask? We have resources here and here that provide examples of how our retail customers are doing this. Now, before we end, I want to circle back to the data point about beauty's overall lack of first-time buyers, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, considering they're still seeing a big spike in overall purchases. This could indicate that beauty shoppers are sticking with what they know and returning to places they've shopped before. Since beauty has historically been great at driving discovery and building loyalty, for example, by providing content like online tutorials, and even during this time, shifting store personnel to do things like FaceTime consultations, it makes returning for another purchase that much easier. One of the most prominent places we see this type of experience is in Sephora's Beauty Insider program. That's all we have for today's episode. Be sure to check out the resources provided in this episode and stay tuned for more trends. I'm Sarah Cascone, and thank you for joining Coffee and Commerce with Cascone.